So welcome back to my channel. Right, I'm just gonna have a quick look and then we'll get into this juicy and meaty subject. So this live stream is for Pride Month, you beautiful darlings. So with this being like the culmination, we're at like literally at the end of June, which is the traditional Pride Month. So I thought I would. This is a brilliant time to make this video. I'm glad I actually had the inspiration for this video the other day, but I think it's been a long time in the making. Like, this journey as a gay male witch or bisexual witch, whatever you label we going with, it's not an easy journey, especially for someone who's like an introverted extrovert like myself, and someone who's lived like quite a sheltered life as a child, and lots of past traumatic experiences. But that is in the past. But everyone goes through all of this stuff. This is just life. But I just feel like now is a good time to share my story and to reveal the hell that I went through with online dating. I'm sure you can relate if you're still in that boat now. I feel so sorry for you, poor darling. So this live stream is a special one about my personal journey as a gay person in this crazy earth school. So with that in mind, let's see what I have. I've made a few notes here because, so yeah, it looks like at the top of my list was the dating apps. Okay, so I really should list the crazy amount of dating apps that I was using. Hopefully I can pass along something which will help other people on their journey if they're in a similar place to where I was all of those years ago. So if you've clicked on this video, you saw that I said that I came out of the closet twice. So some of you may be thinking, what on earth does he mean? How does he come out of the closet twice? So with me being and practicing pagan or witch or whatever starseed we're going with now, but it's all essentially just means that I am an energy worker, a light worker, healer, and I'm here to do like something good for humanity, for the planet. So this is what I'm working with, and I've been on this journey. I need healing. Tell me about astrology or something. Don't worry, I have some cards here, so a bit further along I will be talking a bit. I will be pulling some cards for the people who are watching and who need a bit of guidance. I will be pulling cards, but I'm just going to continue for now. But thank you for your interest. Cards right now. But if you have an eager question, I don't mind opening the book of answers. So we'll call upon spirit, pull through some guidance from beyond the veil, from the ancestors, from the spirit guides, the angels, and the deities. So for the people who are watching who have some pressing questions, please pull through some guidance which will help them on their journey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so Spirit is saying you must act now. So it says you must act now. Ooh. Okay, so I don't know who needs to hear that, but that is your message. So I will do that 2 more times, just in case there's anyone else who needs some guidance from spirit and they're impatient and I'm not going to wait for the cards, which I'm going to pull at the end for the collective read. Okay. All right. Pull through some guidance, please. Okay. So Spirit is telling us there will be some obstacles to overcome. But of course, this is Earth School. This is the whole reason why we're here. We're all going through some different shit day to day. This is why we're here, to so we can rise above it, so we can take a look at the bigger picture, so we can become our God selves, because we're not just some meat suit. We're not just some basic individual. We're not just a number on someone's book, or we're not just some content creators, or we're not just content consumers either. We are all divine individuals. We are all connected with the divine. We come from the divine. We are creators. Okay. So I will pull one more message from the Book of Answers and we will move back on with my story. Okay. Woo-hoo. That is crazy. That shit is crazy. This same message came through twice. You must act now. Act now. I don't know who needs to hear that message, but Spirit is telling you loud and clear. You need to act now. Stop waiting. Stop procrastinating. Get off that booty and do what needs to be done, my child. I think I was trying to explain at the beginning of my journey. So how things went, how things have been difficult to begin with was I was brought up as a Christian as a child. So as a very small child, I was praying to Jesus. I love Jesus. I don't have any problem with Jesus now, to be fair, but I've introduced other deities into my life. I connect with the divine how I see fit, not how other people tell me to worship the divine. So from there, I was kind of worried about how my family would take that, because sure, I don't come from a very strict family. That my family all believe in God, but they're not the sort of people who go to church every Sunday. But my family does believe in God and very spiritual people. So I was kind of worried about that, and I knew my mum in particular. I knew that she was quite superstitious, because my mum's the sort of person who said um not to paint your living room green because it's like the color of envy. And I remember her saying that as when I was quite young in my teen years. So I remembered she was quite superstitious. And what else did she say? Oh, there was just so many superstitious things that she used to say, but I can't even. My mind is just going blank now that I'm doing a live. So this is why scripted videos are so good. But anyhow, my mum was superstitious, and I was right in saying that that she was going to be highly suspicious, and she was going to be quite fearful when she discovered that I was looking at paganism and witchcraft and introducing other deities into my life. So my mum, she was scared by the prospect of that. But when I because I was transparent about what I was doing, I I I revealed to her that I explained it clearly that the deities that I'm worshipping, that they have nothing to do with the devil, and they are not evil. The deities that I worship, they're just manifestations of nature itself. So I was connecting with Apollo, god of light. I was connecting with Athena, the goddess of wisdom. These are all archetypes, ancient archetypes, and connected with nature the very heart of nature itself. So I explained this to my mum in in that very simple way, that yes, I was introducing new deities, yes, I was learning about witchcraft, but there was nothing to be scared of. So as soon as I explained that to her, I was quite surprised because I didn't think it would have been that easy. But all I needed to do was put it out to her simply that the there's no devil in what I'm doing. I have nothing to do with the devil. Pagans, witches, we don't even believe the devil exists. So sure, there may be some satanic witches out there, but that is their own prerogative. So that is a different belief system. So everyone is welcome to have their own beliefs. I'm never one to shoot down somebody else's beliefs, but that is not my personal beliefs. That is what I'm trying to explain. Okay. Okay. So the first hurdle, so that was me coming out of the closet the first time, telling my family and especially my mother that I was practicing witchcraft. The second time I opened the closet door was with me revealing I was that I had a boyfriend, basically. So it it had taken a lot of time because sure I was actively looking for a partner. I was looking, but it took a really long time. I was using multiple dating apps. I've written them all down now. So I was using 13 different dating apps before I found that one person. And when I say I was using 13 different dating apps, that is absolutely crazy. And I really do not believe that I spent all of that time and energy on these crazy motherfucking shit. Excuse my language, on these crazy apps. So I cannot believe that I spent all of that time and energy, but I guess in the end I did find somebody. Okay, just like anybody else can find somebody. If you put in the energy, what you put out into the universe, you will get back. So I used Grinder, I used Tinder, I used Hornet, I used Plenty of Fish, I used Gay Romeo, I used Badoo, I used Match, I used Only Lads, I used Meet Me, Surge, Scruff. So these are all dating apps which you can get on Play Store. But to be fair, I wouldn't recommend the majority of them because a lot of them are a huge waste of time, which I found out the hard way. Okay, so so before I got to that point where I was ready to come out the closet, I wanted to at least have something to show for it. So I wanted to find someone special. I wanted to be happy with somebody. And once I had somebody to be happy with, then I would reveal that to the people that I hold near to me. Okay. And another thing which I'm just going to put in here is that I I really hate I really hate labels. So I didn't want to just make a whole huge deal and be like, "Hey girlfriend, I'm gay, this that and the other. This is a whole big thing. I want everyone to know this about me and that everything's different now because nothing was different. I was still the same person that I've always been, and I was just living my life, and I was just wanted to love who I wanted to love, and I didn't believe that changed anything whatsoever. Okay. So another one of the annoying things about using the dating apps was that the incessant number of you know, aubergine pics, which the aubergine pics which got sent across to me. So like if you're using Grinder, then pff, like literally every second, ping, 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 another naked picture of someone will come through to your phone. So, and the funny thing about using Grinder, because I literally just wanted to use every single app that there possibly was, because I thought if I'm putting all of these feelers out into the universe, and yeah, it may seem crazy because Grinder is clearly a hookup app. So, but it does have an option on that app to you state, you have your profile, you state what you're looking for using the app. So I put clearly that I'm looking for dating and a serious relationship. That's what I put down on my profile. But do people really pay any attention to that, what you put on your profile? Hell no, they don't. So I'd put that on my profile that I'm looking for a serious relationship. I'm interested in dating people. Don't be sending me stupid pictures of your naked self, because sure, sure it was quite entertaining a few times, but when you're just getting it all of the time, then it just gets old and it's not entertaining anymore, and you just it's a bit sad really. But that is just what that app is. So eventually I just completely gave up on that app, and there was like over like a dozen other apps to still use anyway. So which in the other apps were more dating and less hookups. So yes, that was the crazy thing. And the Hornet, the Gate Hornet app, that was also a bit like that as well. The amount of it was interesting with that app because you could add private pictures. Actually, you could do that on Gay Romeo as well. So you could add your private pictures into it, so they were private, so when people would look on your profile they didn't see your private pictures. So if you connected with somebody and you saw somebody that you liked, then you could show them your private pictures, which was a bit funny to be fair. But I never I never put any aubergine pictures in my private pictures, just because that's not me. I'm not the sort of person to send aubergine pictures to other people, whether it's on a dating profile or whether it's sending it through Snapchat. That's just not me. But the interesting thing about using the number of dating apps is that you do meet quite a varied number of different people. So even if you don't meet them in person, you do come across quite a varied amount of different people, and you kind of get the hang of it. You kind of get the hang of the whole crazy dating, and I feel like me binging all of the dating apps really helped me with my getting my head around the whole social media thing, to be fair. So it kind of gave me more of a tolerance to dealing with social media and getting my head around it and coping with it, because the the experience using all of those dating apps was so traumatic and so freaking crazy. It was just absolute chaos. So the experience of using all of those dating apps, it really, like anything which comes after that, which isn't that, then anything is nothing compared to that, because that was just carnage. Okay. So next I'll just explain about a couple of people who I met on these dating websites. So it was with the dating websites, it's interesting because, and it's disappointing at the same time, because there is some people on the websites who generally do want to meet and will go on a genuine date with you. So when you do find those people, that is really cool and really good, especially when you're finding it difficult to really put yourself out there and meet other people. So which that was the case that I was in. I wasn't the sort of person that would go out and binge drink, get drunk at the weekend, party all night. I wish I was that that crazy and that fun. But yeah, I'm a little boring because that isn't me. So for quieter, more introverted people like myself, we do rely a lot more on these crazy dating apps. So thank God I'm taken now. I've been with a boyfriend for quite a few years. It must be like coming to 6 or 7 years now. So I'm grateful for that because I never want to go back to that chaos. Okay, but one one of the people that I met on one of the dating apps. So I met this guy called Cesar on Gay Romeo. So this guy, we we was just chatting for a while, and I think he found it interesting that I was a witch in paganism, but obviously that in he was from Bologna, and in Italy have their own they have their own offshoots of witchcraft, and they have like striga witchcraft, which is like the practice which comes with worshipping the goddess Diana. But that I think he found it. I think he was intrigued to meet me because he I'd told him that I was a witch, because I told most people it because that was a side I was through hiding any part of myself. So if people can deal with that, then I didn't really want to waste my time with them, to be fair. So I was pretty transparent when I was dating, telling everyone that I was pagan and a witch, and that's just who I am. So I'm not going to throw it down your throat. I'm not going to shove it down your throat, but that's just who I am. So if you can't deal with that, tough, then it's just tough, isn't it? So I met this guy, Cesar. We went to Weatherspoons. We ate some food and we was just chatting. So it was cool. It was a nice date, but I think there wasn't any chemistry there, which was disappointing. But we actually inspired me to take yoga because he told me that he was practicing yoga quite regularly. I think at, at the student because a student who was who'd came. I think he must have been a foreign exchange student who'd came over to study something at university. So there was a student yoga class which he went to regularly, like it must have been like every week or something like that. So we talked about yoga because I'd always been interested in yoga, and he actually did inspire me to follow that through. Like to this day, I go to yoga every other week. So yoga is a part of my life because it is a really good technique to have. It's just good for purifying the mind, body, and spirit, and bringing balance into your life. And who doesn't need that, especially us gay male witches? Okay, so the so that was one experience which I had online. Another experience that I had was this guy. I think his name was Colin, but I'm not 100% sure. I think the experience that I had with that guy was kind of a little traumatic. So I think I've kind of blotted that out of my memory. But this guy, basically, he was just talking sweet, sending nice messages, and just being really talkative and pers- personable, and acting like really sweet and friendly. So we eventually did go for a date. So it was probably to another Weatherspoons or something like that. I can't even really remember. It's really strange that it has been kind of blotted out of my memory. but it's probably for the best because he wasn't a nice person, to be fair. So basically, we I was open and transparent all along. So to everybody who I was speaking to on the chat, who was chatting to on all of these crazy apps, I would let them know that I am looking for a relationship. I'm not in it for any funny business. I'm not in it just for fun like a lot of other people are. So don't come at me for that because if that's what you want, then why are you messaging me? I've clearly stated on my profile what I'm looking for. So there's other people who are also looking for what you're looking for. So why don't you go bother them? Why are you bothering me? But no, not this guy Colin, because he knew what I was looking for, and he 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 was what you call an opportunist. So he thought, well, I've reeled this one in, so I've caught this one on a little fishing hook. I've been really I've been really smooth and sweet, and I've said all of the right things to him. So we'll go on this day, and then we'll just have fun. So he'd he'd said to me, so we was on the date, and then at the end of the day, I thought it'd really gone well. It was genuinely, felt like he was a genuine nice guy. But from there, he was like, "Oh, do you want to come back to mine? We can watch a movie or something like that." And I was like, "Oh, fine, yeah, sure, why not?" So obviously, my crazy ass self didn't see the red flags there and didn't read into that what it really meant. So his crazy ass was obviously wanting to Netflix and chill, as it's now called, but that's not what I was wanting. I really like watching movies. I'm forever watching loads of TV series. Like I'm watching House of the Dragons at the moment, and I'm also watching the Disney Acolyte thing as well. So I keep up to date with all of the different TV series. So I just thought, oh yeah, that's cool. If just because the date had gone so well, so I just thought maybe he's just a genuine nice person, and we can just watch a movie and everything will be okay. But no, we'd got to his place, and then he was starting to reveal his true intentions, and he was like, "Oh, let's do this, that, and the other." And then in the end, I just had to just say no to him, and I was like, "If that's what you want, then fine. I'm going home because that is not what I was signing up for." So yes, that was an interesting experience, but I just don't know why some people are like that. Why not just state your true intentions in the first place? Why just mess around like that? Why do you have to be a player? Why do you have to play with people's feelings? If what you wanted was a hookup, why sugarcoat it? Just reveal that in the first place. Because I would have said no to you, and you could have just found somebody else who would have said yes to you. So why are you just wasting both of our time? Can you please tell me? So that was the guy Colin. And then after him, there was Chad. So I think I actually may have met this one on Grinder. That was probably before I'd given up on thinking that was a viable option. So I'd met him, all seemed well. We was chatting, he was sending me nice messages, and yeah, so he was another one who thought he was extra smooth, as Aaliyah would say. So he just, I don't know why why some of these guys are like this. They think if they sweet talk you enough that they will just get whatever they want, and you won't say no to them, and you'll just play a fool. Because yeah, I am kind of naive at some point sometimes, and especially back in the day, like before I had these experiences, I was very naive because, like I said, I'd lived a sheltered life up until that point. So I was very naive. So, but yeah, this guy, Chad, he acted like he was all cool. He acted like he understood me, and he acted like he wanted the same thing, that he just wanted a a relationship and a friendship, and like he tried to act like he wasn't in it for just the one thing. So although he did talk about that thing, as Lauren Hill would say, he did talk about sex. So he was saying that, oh, I'll wait for you, and if you're not ready now, that's fine. I'll wait for you, and I want to be the one to open you up and all of this crazy stupid shit. And I'm like, is this person for real? But yeah, he was saying that crazy shit, and I'm like, just whatever then. But because I'm not rushing anything for anyone, so everything's gonna happen in my own time. So but yeah, so I didn't see the red flags there. So he was talking about sex a lot, and fair enough, we're humans, and that's what humans do. It's not a big secret, but me, I'm not just going to give away my love in that way. I'm not going to give that away just for fun. So I wanted my first time to be special, to be with someone who really loved me, and I was not going to just mess it around with hookups and just playboys. I wanted to say the F boy word, but I don't want to swear too much because I accidentally already swore once in this live stream, and I don't want to get my channel deleted. So yes, there was this guy Chad. So very soon after, he eventually kind of just petered out, as they call it, because he was messaging me a lot before that point. But when he came over to mine, we'd slept in the same bed. There was no funny business. So I thought he got it. So we slept in the same bed, and it was actually nice to just sleep in the same bed as this other guy, and to just just to experience that closeness and that connection without being sexual. I really enjoyed that, but I guess he didn't, because after I didn't put out for him, he he petered me out and ghosted me. So that's fine. I wasn't that bothered, to be fair, because there's plenty more fish in the sea. Although the plenty more fish in the sea are probably not on Plenty of Fish, the website, because that wasn't very good experience either. But yes, so there was that guy. So these were some of the crazy experiences that I've had on the dating sites. So there was potential other people. There was this one guy that I'd seen. So that was the other thing about using the dating apps. You'd see a lot of people. You'd see a lot of potential people who you could be dating, or who you liked the look of, and then my mind just created scenarios where, so in my mind I started living kind of in my own imagination, and I'd start imagining the way that we would be dating, or doing this, that, and the other. And it's just like my mind would just like go on this whole huge crazy whirlwind of a ride, making up all of these imaginary scenarios where this person that I've just seen their crazy profile, and I've just seen seen their profile, and I then created that scenario. So yeah, it was just I'm just glad that I don't have to deal with that anymore, but just because my imagination was too damn good, because I'd just get so caught up on these imaginary fantasy relationships, and it was just not fun in the long run, because it kind of hurt, because I'd come up with these imaginary fantasies, and I'd come up with like a timeline of when we're going to be together, when we're going to have the first date, when this, that, and the other's going to happen, and things are going to move forward. But then when I'd message them, and then maybe the first time I'd hear back from them, but then when they found out what I really wanted, that I was looking for serious dating and wasn't just looking for a hookup, so then the majority of the times never heard from them again, which was upsetting, but it's just life, I guess. So, yeah, moving on, because this is getting a bit longer than I wanted. All right. So, what fears did I have? So, when it came to fears, I guess, I guess part of the reason why I didn't want to just, there was two reasons why I didn't want to just go on random hookups with any Tom, D, or Harry. I didn't just want to have sex with just anybody, and I was cautious in that way. I wanted it to be with a proper person that I've spent lots of time with and know that I can trust, because obviously everyone knows, like, in the gay world, that there is problems with HIV. It's not just in the gay world, sorry, but it's in any sort of, it's widespread, but obviously it was a bigger problem for gay people. So yeah, that was one of the reasons why I was so cautious with not just wanting to sleep with anybody who popped the question. Oh my god, that reminds me. Oh my gosh. But this video is my confession, so I'm going to confess to you right now. So I'm trying to think. I don't think I've confessed this to anybody yet. So yeah. So one interesting thing happened when I went to Paris in 2012. So I went to Paris, and I went to Paris on my own. I went to the city of love and l'amour. So I I just really, I'd finished university and was kind of soul searching, and I just thought, like, I had I had the money, so I had the student loans saved up, so I had all of this money which I hadn't spent at uni, so I had that money left over. So I was like, I'm going on holiday, so why wouldn't you? So I went to Paris, the city of love, and Paris was amazing. But obviously, I wanted to check out the gay quarter. So there was this bar called Raid. So Raid, oh my gosh, Raid is like the best gay bar that I've ever been to. It was so cool, but I didn't actually spend that much time there, to be fair, because I guess, like I said, I'm not one to crazy to have like crazy partying nights out. But I did go there, and it was cool. They had strippers like dancing, male strippers dancing in little cubicles. It was like shower cubicles. It was like shower cubicles, and there was like strippers dancing, and then there was like a little, there was like the bar and stuff, and then that's obviously the dance floor. But it was so cool. There was like the strippers in their podiums dancing in these little shower cubicles, and just going all Magic Mike, and that was so cool. I did enjoy seeing that, and I'd gladly go see that again, because that was actually fun to see that and experience that. So yeah, if you're ever in Paris, do check out Raid. raid bar in the Paris Gay Quarter. So yeah, also when I was in Paris, I think it must have been when I was walking back to my hotel from the club. I just saw this random guy on the street, and this random guy saw me, and he was like talking to me. He was saying, "Hi, you all right?" and all that small talk, what you'd expect. And then out of the blue, he was like, "Do you want to, you know what?" And it was like was saying that to me. He was like, "Do you want to hook up?" And I was like, "No, thank you." And he was some guy from Athens, and again, it was just like, I know some people do that, but that's just not what I do. I don't just hook up with random strangers. So unfortunately, I turned him down. Unfortunately for him, but yeah, it's it's just crazy that people will just see you on the street and then ask if you want to hook up. I'm still getting my head around that. But yeah, so that was Paris. Okay, so where else was I going with this? Okay, so another point that I wanted to make was, as as a gay witch, we we kind of have the best of both worlds, because we have we have the divine masculine energy, we've got that yang energy. So if you think of the yin and yang, we have that. We've got the yang, the male energy, because we are men, and we have the feminine energy, the divine feminine energy. We've got the yin energy. So we have it both. Some people have fluctuating levels of both of them. So some people are more feminine than others, but that each people are just different. But I believe everyone, whether you're man, woman, or anything else, we all have different levels of these divine masculine and divine feminine energies within us anyway. So I think just as gay people, we kind of in a liminal place. So we're kind of in a grey area sometimes with our energy and the way people treat us, just because we're different from the norm. Like, or rather, what is the new norm? Just because, like, in ancient times, like, gay gay people and bisexuality, that was the norm in like ancient times. It's just like in these modern days where it's people make a big deal about it and act like it's something crazy or something. But love is love at the end of the day. Okay. So where else was I going with this? How do you balance your identity? So yeah, that's what I was talking about. So basically, we all have male and female energy within us. So I feel it's kind of proven that as gay males, we kind of have the best of both worlds when it comes to the male and female energy, but but it's not always balanced, and people can all the people who are around us can't always deal with that because they're used to having the separation, and when they're around us, there's no separation because we are divine masculine and divine feminine at all at once. So which it can be disconcerting for some people. But on that note, there is many deities who are here to protect the LGBT community. So there is Mother Hecate, Goddess Hecate. She is a patron the of the oppressed peoples, such as the LGBT community, and she's a protector of women. She's a protector of the LGBT community. She's goddess of the witches as well. So there's also Apollo. Apollo, he is a really cool deity, and I like to do a lot of magic with him at times. I guess I don't work with him all of the time, but there's certain things like if I want to do a beauty spell, for example, or if I want to get into shape, if I want to become more magnetic, then I call upon Apollo because that's the energies and they're the powers that he can grant. So Apollo, in he's another pagan icon who protects and looks after the LGBT community. And there is also Hermes. Hermes is another one. Again, he is like a ruler of the liminal places. He travels in between, and he's kind of like gender fluid, or he definitely has the fluidity there. He's kind of a fleeting energy, and obviously, he's also the god of communication as well. So Hermes, he's here to help us all express ourselves. So all of the things which we feel like we can't say to anyone, all of the things that we feel like we need to hide, Hermes is there to help us to bring that out and to get it off of our chest, basically. So if you're finding it difficult coming out to parents, to friends, to family, then call upon Hermes and ask him to help you with that. So another protector of the LGBT community in the deities is Azuli. So she is one of the lower. So I'm trying to think which aspect it is. So the Azuli, she has a couple of different aspects. So I'm not 100% sure which aspect that is, just because I don't actually work with Azuli very often, just because I've all of my life I've been drawn to the Egyptian deities, to the Greek deities. So it's only recently when I've discovered like the seven African powers and the voodoo lower, which Azuli is part of. Okay, so who else is there? Of course, there's like Dionysus as well. Dionysus, the god of wine. He's probably the reason why a lot of us gays like our wine. So I absolutely freaking love my wine, and Dionysus is probably why. So Dionysus, he is, I believe he's the deity who also is the god of ecstasy, and he has maenads, so they're kind of like wild nymphs slash priestesses who kind of do very wild and crazy dances, and they're just very ferocious and very different. So yeah, Dionysus, he's another protector of the LGBT community. So there's a lot of deities out there. So there's probably many more. So they're just the deities off the top of my head. So there's also Zeus. So Zeus, he is very promiscuous deity. So he he doesn't really discriminate when it comes to the sex in making love. He's always got his eye on somebody beautiful. So whether that somebody's a woman or a man, he just wants to get his dirty ends away. He just wants to, yeah, he wants to conquer that prospect basically. So another of the deities who really looks kindly and protects and is very in with the LGBT energy is the deity Pan. So Pan is often depicted with an erection and like huge, you know what's nuts we'll call them. So he he is so I believe this is because he's like a god of fertility, among other things. So Pan is a very protective deity, and he's all for lustiness. Basically, he's pretty much just as bad as Zeus when it comes to lust and getting his ends away and just just having his wicked way with nymphs mostly. But yes, Pan is another protector of the LGBT community. Okay. Okay, so what? Oh, so I almost missed this. So another thing that I wanted to talk about was as as gay witches, we kind of put ourselves into a sort of willow Tara complex. I call it. So where we're wanting to find the perfect person for us. So we create this perfect picture of who we believe our partner should be, and most of the time, that image is somebody else who is also very witchy and spiritual. So I know when it was myself, when I was looking for someone, above all else, I was looking for someone who was extremely spiritual, just like myself, because it didn't have to be they didn't have to be a witch or even pagan. I just wanted someone who was like very spiritual and very open-minded. That is what I was looking for, and that is what well, I definitely found somebody who's open-minded, but I wouldn't say he's extremely spiritual. But he is certainly open-minded, so I got one of those two things. But yes, the Willow and Tara complex. So that is where we look to kind of create a mirror, because what we're looking for in a partner is what we are. We want to find someone else who has the exact same interests as us. And if you like, if you've seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer and you've seen the Willow and Tara, they do look so cute together because they're doing their little magic spells together, levitating pencils and whatnot, and each other. So it would be so brilliant to be in a relationship with another witch, but for some reason it doesn't really seem to happen that often. For some reason, we just don't seem to click click well, especially when it's gay witches. I'm not. So this is in my own personal experience, mind you. So just in my own personal experience, when I've approached other gay witches, there was this guy at university, Edward. So basically, he was also a devotee of Hecate. he was a drag queen as well, so he was very comfortable in himself basically. So he was, but yeah, when I was I was interested in him because obviously he was also worshipping Hecate. I was worshipping Hecate. He was a witch and pagan. I was a witch and pagan. So in my head, when I was at university, I thought he'd be an ideal person to be in a relationship with. But when it came around to it, we did become friends and we'd talk and we'd laugh and we'd meet up, but we didn't become anything more than that because he would offer for me to come round for a hookup. And obviously, like I've mentioned like a million times in this video, that is not what I was looking for. I was not looking to hook up with anyone because I was looking for a serious relationship and God, please give me one. So, yeah, it was crazy. That guy. So, he was an interesting guy, to be fair, but like a lot of other gay people, uh, he just wasn't ready for commitment, or at least not with me. So that's just how the story goes. So never mind. So yeah, that was that experience. So the Willow and Tara complex. So we all look for that in our partner. We look for somebody who's just like us, who's magical, who's spiritual, and is into the same things. And we just envision being able to work magic together and sex magic together, and it would be so wonderful. But you can don't worry, girlfriend, because you can still do that sex magic even if your other half is not a witch and you're not doing the magic together. Well, you will be doing the magic together when it's the sex, but all you have to do is simply have that intention in your mind while you're enjoying yourself and getting jiggy with it. So, yes, that is another thing. The we want to have the perfect other half who is a beautiful uber witch, but the majority of the time that for some reason that just doesn't happen. But I don't really know why, but that's just been in my own experience. If you've experienced differently, if you have found another lovely, beautiful, magical soul, then please feel free to let us all know and let us know that it is possible. Put it in the comments. Okay. So yeah, it's just disappointing really overall when it comes to like gay culture because a lot of a lot of us gay people we're just busy out having a good time. We want to go clubbing at the weekend. We want to get drunk. We want to have fun, and we don't want to worry about the consequences. So I heard some people kind of call this like the Peter Pan complex or syndrome. They say that a lot of gay people have Peter Pan syndrome just because they're. When I say this, this is not my own theory. So this is not me who's just saying this. This is what I've heard other people call it. So basically, they say that a lot of gay people are kind of immature in a way, and they just want to have fun, and they just don't want to worry about any of the consequences, and they just want to get drunk and want to party, and that's it. But obviously, that's just impossible to do that all the time. So it's just not possible. Even though it would be really nice if I could just party for a living, then I think I would. Even though that I'm not that crazy sort of person, I do like to party, but it's generally family parties that I generally like, just because I like to dance and I like my wine. I like to give some libations to Dionysus drink that beautiful wine, and I like to dance and just be happy. And yeah, so it's just a shame that we're in this community together, but we just, it's not always safe. It's not always a safe community. And people are just not always transparent with each other. So it can be a bit difficult, and it can be a bit sad, and you can end up going round in circles. But there is light at the end of the tunnel, because every one of us, we do have somebody special out there in this crazy world, and we will find them by hook or by crook. We will find them eventually. So I have found a lovely person. He's pretty crazy, but he he's a good soul, and I'm sure all of you will find a good soul as well. Okay. So now that I've talked about that, I just wanted to, wrote a note on here about Montero. So for some reason, I just wanted to mention about Lil Nas X and Montero. Have you guys seen that music video? I'm sure you probably have, because that video was hot, and it's got like so many views. It was such a great, it was so popular, and that song was being played on the radio everywhere. It's Montero, the way that he seduces the devil, that was just kind of genius how he does that. But yeah, Montero, it's interesting with Lil Nas X, because I'm glad that somebody like him has came out, because in the gay community we don't have tons of like gay people out, especially when it comes to in the music industry. We don't have a lot of black or mixed race, openly gay people in the music community. So it was, I think, one of the first ones that I remember hearing about was Frank Ocean. He's a really cool artist who I do believe is amazing. But also Lil Nas X, he's a different kind of cool. Frank Ocean, he is like a crazily talented songwriter, and he has a beautiful voice. So I aspire to be like Frank Ocean. But Lil Nas, he's quite sexy. He's funny, fun, and crazy, and yeah, he's kind of like, yeah, he's just more in a youthful way. I feel like Frank Ocean is kind of like the more mature side of the gay culture, whereas Lil Nas X is kind of the more of like the party type, and the more youthful Peter Pan syndrome half of the LGBT culture. But there's nothing wrong with that. We all have our place, and we're all here. We're, it's it's good to just do what makes you happy. I get that. So, but just look after yourselves at the same time. Okay, so next I just want to pull some cards. So I've got the Mystic Martian Oracle with us. So this is for all of y'all who was born this way. Whether you star seed, whether you star seeds, whether you're just LGBT, whether you're witch, whether you're not, whether you're anything at all, whether you fit into any label or category, or if you fit in none of the categories, I especially like you. But this card reading is for all of us as a collective. So if there's any messages, please come through from Spirit for us as we just close this fun video. I'm definitely gonna have to talk. Come, wow, bloody hell! So guess what card just came out? So the lyran energy just came through for us right away. So the message of the lyrans is tapping into your strength, your courage, and bravery, and that is absolutely perfect for a perfect message for the LGBT community. It looks like he's even kind of got like a rainbow on his clothes as well. But yeah, so the message which is coming through from spirit for us is to be resilient, to keep hold our strength and courage and bravery, and not to let anyone phase us. So just be true to yourself and really really hold on to your strength and don't let anybody dissuade you from what you believe and who you want to love. Okay, so let's see what other cards come through. I'm so delighted that the Liven cards came through. Thank you, Spirit, for that. Thank you, Star Family. That is so beautiful. Okay, who else has got messages for us? Please come through. Okay. Ooh, the Syrians. So the Syrians are coming through right now. Okay, so it says responsibilities, lessons, and growing up. Oh, that's interesting. Because we was just talking about the Peter Pan syndrome, how some of the gays are stuck in the Peter Pan syndrome, how they kind of just get stuck with wanting to shrug off all of responsibilities and just party. The Syrians are coming in to tell us that responsibilities. So you've got to be true to your responsibilities and be open to the lessons which the universe is giving us. And sometimes at some point we do have to all grow up. So that doesn't mean that you have to let go of the fun. It doesn't mean that you have to stick to a boring 9 to 5, that you have to just be a boring person, that you can't have any fun, that you can't go out, you can't party, you can't drink alcohol or do any of the other things that make you happy. So, but it's just saying that you need to find the balance. And once you do find that balance, you will find that you are more of a complete person, because now you at the moment, those of those of those of us who are stuck in that mindset, that Peter Pan mindset of just wanting to have fun, you're not your whole self. You're Because that is only a part of yourself. You need to marry the other part of yourself that is serious and isn't always happy, isn't always having fun. You need to really kind of acknowledge that part of yourself and to realize that it's okay. It's okay to it's okay if you're not okay, and that that there is other people who are in the same boat as you, and we can all help each other and just be there for each other in any way, shape, or form, and just to really try to make an effort to be there for somebody else, and to ask other people if you want help, or if you want guidance, or if you're struggling with something, just don't just be silent about it. Okay, So the next card which just came through is philosophy. Sorry, it's the air element. So it says the message of this card is philosophy, discrimination, and empathy. So I think that is pretty perfect. So discrimination. So what is this video all about? It's all about the Pride Month and LGBT community and fighting discrimination, being being bringing it in the empathy and the love for one another. This is what we need. But I feel like we are getting there as a collective. There's so many powerful beings out in the universe that are overseeing this, that the star family is watching over us and they are guiding us, and they're doing their best to help make this transition easier for us. Okay. Oh, water as well. So, so air and water. So it's funny that the water element should come in, because water is all about emotions. So if you think of the tarot, with tarot, all of the chalices and cups, it's all to do with different emotions. So on the card here, it says reflection, kindness, and compassion. So these are all the majority of these are all to do with feelings and emotions. So that's interesting that those two cards should pop out together, air and water. But it's interesting the messages as well. So there's philosophy, discrimination, empathy on air, and then reflection, kindness, and compassion. So in the middle of both, there is discrimination on air and kindness on water. So what is the message of these two elements coming together? I feel like it's kind of to do with cleansing. I feel like there's a need for like deep cleansing, and it's kind of coming. It's going to come through to us like a shower of rain, a shower of light and love. I feel like this is what is needed, and that energy is coming through. We just need to invite it through. Okay. Pull another card from Spirit. Okay. Oh, okay. So that's interesting. Okay. So the next card which just came through is the reptilians. So with this card, there is an emphasis on predators, survival, and tyranny. So I feel like this may be like the shadow self of the LGBT community. I feel like there's that survival instinct there. It's kind of like the fight or flight. And I feel like there is those people who would try to attack you or try to kick you while you're down. But you're not going to give them that option. You're not going to give them that opportunity. Okay. All right, we'll go with the final card now. Okay, Spirit, what is the final message for this reading, for this video, for the people that are watching? Please come through with your guidance. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The Greys. That's interesting. Okay, so the card which came through is the Greys. And on that card it says, timid, shy, and misunderstood. So I feel like these are the two opposing forces. I feel like the LGBT community kind of feels like the Greys kind of, or maybe not all of it, because not the whole community, but there's a portion, a, a large portion of the community who feels kind of timid, shy, and misunderstood, and they feel like it's kind of sad that we literally only get a month when we can come out 1 month in the whole year where we feel like we can be safe and come out of our shell. So that is a bit sad when there is the other people who would kind of oppress us at any chance that they have, or just kind of prey upon us and demonize us. But all right, so I feel like I'm gonna read the message for this one. I feel like this one is a specifically important message, seeing as this is the card which is crowning the reading. So I'm gonna read the message with this. The Greys. So these are the short Greys, not the tall Greys. The tall Greys are kind of scary, but the short Greys are kind. Okay, so it says, there are many varieties of short greys. They originate from the Orion constellation. Zeta Reticulum greys are typically around 3 to 4.5 feet in height. The short greys are largely now a hybrid, and some are a clone species that no longer have access to their soul matrix. The Alpha Draconian own, operate, and oversee these genetic engineering. Wow, so that is the reptilians. So they're literally the two cards. So it's saying that the reptilians, they literally they hold the short greys as slaves. So that is interesting that those two cards should come out like that in this reading when we're talking about the LGBT community. That is very interesting. Okay, so it says the short greys have enormous, haunting, wraparound, dark black eyes, which they are able to use while making eye contact with someone to hypnotize them into a trance. Their skin color varies in tones of grey. They do not physically eat, though do acquire nutrients from various sources by absorbing energy through their skin. Okay. So it says the greys, they have no sex organs and no known emotions. They are purely logical, and are incredibly intelligent and telepathic. It is reported that they too are a dying species and are desperate to save themselves from extinction. Wow, I feel like that is a very powerful message right there in itself. Some short greys have been associated with the abduction and contactee phenomena, which reportedly the short greys experimentally do with methodologies which will hopefully help them access their soul matrix and thereby assist their genetic species. I can't say that word properly. They are largely a slave subservient race that complies under the Alpha Draconian rule. Whew, damn. Okay. Jeez. So that is like some very deep stuff right there. Very interesting messages. Gosh, I feel like I feel like I want to know more now. Where was we going with this? So there's definitely a clear message of the oppression for the LGBT community. So even now in these modern days, there is oppression. And I think it's kind of highlighted by the fact that, like, the mainstream it's believe that by giving the LGBT community a month where we can be ourselves, where we can come out of the shadows. I think that kind of says it all. To be fair, so that is the kind of oppression that we're in. Like, you can have a month, or you can have a short amount of time, but then for the rest of the time, we don't want to see you go little back into your cubby holes. Okay. Okay, so I feel like I definitely do need another card from another deck. So I feel like I'm gonna go with my new Angel Tarot. So let's pull in some angel energy just to kind of pull us through this kind of oppression. Okay. Okay, so with these cards, I've not used these cards yet. Okay. I feel like they're going to need a good shuffle. Okay, so what is the message that we need? Call upon the angels, call upon the star family, call upon spirit. Please give us some guidance how we can overcome this oppression, how we can finally be free and be our true selves every day of the year, regardless of the month. Spirit, please come through for a message. Angels, please give us your guidance. Wow. And the angel of healing himself has came through. The master of healing, the archangel Raphael. So Raphael, he is the angel who is like a master healer. So I feel like this is the answer from spirit, that there is healing coming through from spirit, for which is going to diminish this oppression, or to assist us to overthrow this oppression, and to heal us from the traumas which the oppression has caused to us. It says, Raphael, God has healed. Healing heals all disorders, protects travelers and medical workers. So that is beautiful. So Archangel Raphael. So if you're feeling in need of some healing, if you need help overcoming oppression, call upon the healing of the Archangel Raphael. Just simply speak his name If you want, you can pray to him. If you want, you can just talk to him. Just tell him what you need. Tell him what's going on. The angels are listening and they want to help. You just need to ask. So I'm going to leave this video here. So thank you for tuning in. There is other videos like this one, maybe not as long as this one, but there is lots of other videos about magical subjects. There's more videos with readings. There is, so do check out some of the music videos. I do have some cool music videos as well.